Welcome to another episode of the Sage Studio Podcast. I'm Tiffany Webster. Thank you so much for joining us today. We have two amazing guests from one of our community providers that many of you already know and love, which is Right at Home. Today, I am welcoming Melanie Wasko and Teresa Hadyke. Welcome to the podcast.
Thanks so much.
It's so great to have you both today. I want to just dive right in because if our listeners are not familiar with what you offer at Right at Home, we definitely want them to know about all the great things that you offer, who you serve, and the programs that are available. And then, Teresa, I can't wait to get into some of the offerings that you are going to be having this summer. All right, let's start with Melanie. Melanie, introduce yourself a little bit. So in case our audience doesn't know who you are, tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do at Right at Home.
Great. Thanks, Tiffany. I am Melanie Wasko, and Brian and I own Right at Home. Brian started Right at Home in 2001, and it started out just as a way to teach writing online to homeschool students. And it's grown since then, and we now offer writing, literature, history, and elementary school English language arts. But I homeschooled my four daughters. The oldest is now 28, and the youngest is 23. And she just graduated from college on Saturday. So I was a traditional homeschool mom from the time they were in kindergarten until they went off to college. So I have a lot of understanding in a firsthand way with personalized learning model charter schools and what parents are doing. And what I always tell people is that I love the Sage Oak model, that there is the freedom to choose, but also you have a teacher there to help you and to guide you.
You have become a great partner to us. You understand our independent study model and how it is a little bit unique, how we have our students are learning at home, but oftentimes our families really value the curriculum choices that are offered by our community providers. Tell us a little bit about the course offerings that you have right now and the grade levels that you serve.
Sure thing. We have something for students in grades 4 through 12. So I'm going to talk a little bit about what we offer for middle school and high school. And then I'm going to let Teresa talk about the upper elementary because she not only wrote the curriculum, but she's also the teacher for those students. So in the middle school and high school level, we have our traditional writing courses, which are online, asynchronous. So there's no Zoom meeting, there's no video content. Students read a lesson and take a quiz every week, and then they have an assignment that they write. But they also have a writing coach. So each student has their own personalized tutor who gives them thorough feedback on everything that they turn in. They write papers in 3 drafts, and on their third and final draft, they get a rubric score, which is based on a 100-point scale. So it's very easy for teachers to convert that into official grades. Then we also have for the middle school and high school level literature courses. Those are live. They meet via Zoom for 1 hour per week. And then there are assignments that students do on their own time afterwards. Typically at the high school level, it's about 3 to 4 hours of independent reading outside of the 1 hour class period. They also have comprehension quizzes and discussion posts, and they meet live in the class. So there is opportunity for discussion. Those middle school and high school courses are taught by Brian Wasko. And starting next year on the high school level, we've traditionally just taught a classical great books-oriented literature class. We're going to keep those courses, but we're also starting what we call our conventional track. So we have an intro to lit, British lit, American lit, and world lit. Those run very similarly to the literature class. Mike Napier is our teacher, and students meet with him 1 hour per week via Zoom. We also have combos where students can choose to do 2 or 3 annual courses, and they can combine them for a reduced price and for a more robust, more thorough experience. We do have those annual 32-week courses, 16-week semester courses, and 8-week workshops.
Tell me a little bit about the learning management system you use. Are the students logging in to Canvas to access their courses?
Yes, we use Canvas, and then we use Zoom for the virtual meeting. So each student has their own account in Canvas, and all of the courses that they take from Right at Home will be on their dashboard. We also have a Welcome to Right at Home course that we enroll all parents, teachers, and students in. It's basically a FAQ course, but you can take it as a class with little quizzes to get to know the learning management system and also just how to find the feedback on your paper and all that. It's just a really good help tool. We automatically create a parent account and connect it to their student whenever a student enrolls. And we create teacher dashboards for teachers. So as a teacher, you can log into your Canvas account and you can have every student that you're overseeing in one login, and you can obtain work samples easily. You can look at their progress and also see the grade recommendations that they get from the work that they do for their writing coach or the instructor in literature or history.
I love that you're making it so easy for our teachers to be able to go in there and just manage their student progress and make sure that their students are on pace. And I know parents are going to appreciate the walkthrough as well.
Yes.
We do often get questions. How will I know how my student is doing if they're taking a class online? And really
and they
that.
also have access to their writing coach and to their literature TA. And in the case of the elementary school, to Teresa, through the Canvas message box, all the observers, whether you're a teacher or a parent, can message the writing coach or the teacher if they have questions. And one additional thing that we created a couple of years ago, we call it our special consideration form. And it's a form that invite teachers or parents to fill out with any information that they feel would help their writing coach or their teacher more effectively coach them. So sometimes it's, they have English as a second language or they are dyslexic. Sometimes we have parents who their student might not be confident, so they need a lot of encouragement. So that's one of the things we've developed pretty recently to help us be more effective at really individualizing and personalizing the way we coach our students.
I love that you're bringing that in because that's such a big part of Say Joke and what we do. And we really want to ensure that our students are getting that kind of care either by our teachers or by our community providers. So I think that's going to mean a lot to our families that you go to that extra level to make sure that personalization and individualization is happening. Teresa, tell us a little bit now about what's going on at the elementary level. I mean, there's so much going on for middle school and high school. What can we expect for our elementary students?
Great. Yeah. So the elementary program, we wrote it last year and it's new to the Write at Home curriculum. And I wrote it with the middle school and the high school courses in mind. So it very much follows closely with the same structure, but it's more geared towards the younger learners. And when I was thinking about the program, there was really no way to separate reading, writing, and grammar. It's so woven throughout each other at the elementary level that there's no way to teach one without the other. So I designed the program around book studies and novel studies and genre studies where students write about what they're reading and they practice the grammar lessons organically in their writing. So the course is written to build on skills. So at the elementary level, they're still learning how to approach reading a novel, how to approach writing about a topic. And it can get stuck at the beginning. So the course really empowers them to learn how to think about reading and how to think about writing. So for example, in the 4th grade class, we read a book called Holes by Louis Satcher. The students have to be able to summarize the book, and then they learn how to write their own opinion about the book, and they recommend it to their friends. So in this few-week unit, I teach them how to write summaries of fiction. I teach them how to write opinion writing. I teach them how to approach rating and reviewing. And they take all of these skills and they combine it into writing format.
That's a great approach. I love the integration that you're doing because you're so right. Like students don't necessarily work in things in silos, right? Like they are reading something, they summarize it, they have opinions about it, they want to tell you information. Like all of that really comes together. So have you found that your students that you're working with really fall nicely into that approach?
Yes, they do. I think they love the comfort of a structure, but the freedom to take that and make it their own.
Are you seeing the elementary kids on a daily basis or once a week, or how does that work?
So we meet once a week for about an hour on Zoom. That's sort of the start of our learning week. So we'll meet for an hour and I'll teach a reading lesson that directly connects to what their reading was the week before. So at the beginning of the class, We spend about 15 minutes that's not recorded where the students can have their cameras on and speak freely. And I run a bit of a book discussion where I pose a question and the students answer freely. They ping off of each other and they're able to learn how to agree, how to disagree, how to build on others' thoughts. And I give them the questions ahead of time so they're not surprised and they can focus on those questions as they read with a little more purpose.
I love that. That's so great. I think, that sense of community is really important to our families. And they want to be providing their students an opportunity to connect to other students who are also in an independent study learning program and also reading the same books and having those shared conversations about what they're reading and what they're writing. So I love that you give that chance for the students to do that. Melanie, does that occur at the high school level too? Do students have an opportunity to connect with each other?
Yes, in the history and the literature courses, they do. The writing courses, it's just a one-on-one asynchronous interaction with their writing coach.
I didn't mean to leave our middle school students out of that too. So community opportunities for our elementary, middle, and high school students.
Yes.
Especially in the middle school, high school level, in the literature classes and in the history classes.
Right.
That's where they're going to have a chance to chat with other students or answer discussion board questions and really get a chance to interact on the things that they're learning. So good that that's a part of it. I think our families will really like that. Tell me a little bit, Teresa, about the opportunities that are happening this summer for students. What do we have going on this summer?
Yeah, so this summer we have Chapter Chats. Chapter Chats is a summer book club for elementary age students. It's geared towards rising 4th through rising 6th graders. We have 2 sessions and the books focus on setting and characters. And I was thinking about it and the summer slump is a real thing. Reading is a great way, a great enjoyable way to, keep the brain engaged and active and thinking critically.
For the summer series, does it follow that same format where students are meeting with you once a week on Zoom?
Yeah, so it is once a week. It'll be on Wednesday evenings at 7 p.m. Eastern time for about an hour. And we dig in more than just the comprehension of the novel, but it gives them a chance to discover those hidden themes, those hidden symbols that are in the book. It's an opportunity for students to share what they caught, what they enjoyed, what they disliked. Some of the books that I chose really elicit different feelings, and it's good to feel things when you read, whether it's anger or fear or sadness, and teaching students how to manage those feelings almost when they're reading. So the Chapter Chats was born from that, just wanting to provide a fun, exciting avenue for students to exercise that love for talking about great books.
I love that idea. And if the students want to sign up for the summer session, can they just sign up on the website?
Yeah, you can go to writeathome.com/chapter chats. I believe there's also a banner on the website right now where you can just click and sign up. There's 2 sessions offered. One is every Wednesday evening Eastern time in June. And then the second one is the last 2 weeks of July and the first part of August. But the dates are on the website.
Perfect. That's a great option for parents that are looking for an opportunity for their kids to be part of a program, avoid that summer slump, but keep it casual, keep it fun, keep it interactive. And I think that's a really great option. How about enrollment in the fall? Melanie, when should students and parents start to think about enrollment in the fall?
They can start now if they'd like. We do have an enrollment form, and we encourage parents, if you want your student to take one of our courses, you can fill out the school's enrollment form immediately, and we just keep those in a special folder that are awaiting purchase orders. We do also have a place on our website just for Sage Oak. If you go to writeathome.com/Sage Oak, it has everything in on one page for Sage Oak families and teachers.
Oh, that's so perfect. So that way they can get a little guidance about what courses they should be looking into. And then when the funds drop in August for the fall semester, then they can work with their teacher at that time to process the PO.
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
Perfect.
Yes.
Good. Okay. So good to know. The summer course sounds so fun for our upper elementary students that are looking to avoid that summer slump. In addition to the summer course, or if students aren't available to enroll or commit to a summer course, do you have any other like just good old reading tips that they can apply to the summertime, Teresa?
Absolutely. The number one tip is get outside. Take advantage of the nice weather, find a tree to sit in or a playground that's quiet and just sit outside and read. And there's something about reading in nature that makes it all the more engaging and exciting. Another great thing is you can join a summer reading club at the library. Local libraries offer summer reading programs with incentives and prizes, and it's a great way to get familiar with your local library. And lastly, don't read alone. Grab a buddy. I'm a huge fan of reading to pets, reading stuffed animals, or reading to siblings. It's more fun when it's a shared experience.
I definitely agree. I think those are some great ideas. And hey, you know what? Take the dog outside under a tree. Do it all. Get out there. It's like, reading and having a good time. For sure. For sure. All right. Well, thank you both so much for being here today. I really appreciate all the time that you took to share a little bit more about your program so that our families can get to know you and all the things that you offer a little bit more. So we really appreciate you being here. We learned a lot today. Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
You are welcome. Always great to talk to you. Thanks so much.
Thank
Have
you.
a good day.
You too. Bye-bye.